and I have a different kind of video today. I am being interviewed by the most amazing KissMyCreative Sam, and she has this great collaboration with called March Collabness. So she's calling me, and we did a Skype interview where she's going to actually ask me questions and also give me prompts, which I have to use in today's page. So thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you go check out her page and see what prompts I gave her.
Hey, Diz.
Hey, Sam. How are you?
I'm good. Listen to that twang.
Yes, ma'am. A Canadian and a Bama girl. This is going
Right.
to be awesome.
This is the best. I'm so glad that you joined me for March Collabness as my third special guest.
Yes,
So,
I'm so excited. Thank you so much for asking me.
yes, of course, you're one of my faves.
Thanks, girl.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you your questions and I'm going to give you your prompts, as you know. And then the lovely people are listening and will be watching you as they see on your screen right now, your lovely project getting started.
I'm excited.
Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so question number 1. So you love a good mess, and we know that, and we love that. And so I just want to know what draws you to that like messy, grungy, abstract style of mixed media as opposed to like a clean cut, more, what's the word I'm looking for? You know what I
I
mean.
know exactly what you mean.
Like
So
a more
what I would say,
professional type of thing.
like a very clean edges and very neat and orderly. Well, I would
Exactly.
probably say that the reason is I also have a day job like you. And so I have to be very scheduled, regimented, analytical, a lot of not the creative side of your brain. So I think
Mm-hmm.
the structure and the stress of the day to day makes me want to go completely opposite when I get into my art, because it should be like my way to de-stress and to get away from the everyday analyzing of data and things like that. So I think that's pretty much why I've always leaned more towards, and I also just find it interesting to look at art that makes you think and is
Mm-hmm.
not so exactly understanding, and you can kind of
Yeah.
interpret it your own way. So I think that's kind
Yeah.
of what draws me that way.
And then everybody sees something different in abstract art, which is
Exactly.
so interesting. Yeah,
Yes.
I totally fully understand how you feel.
Yep.
Because I'm
That's
the same
exactly.
way. I have that job and it's like it's so not creative. And yeah, I feel the same way when I get home. It's like that's why I like the splatter and the abstract too, because it's like what you said, you have to be so professional at work and it's like you get home and you just want to
You're the
have
wild
fun.
child.
Yeah.
Get
I
free.
mean,
Make a mess.
exactly.
Color outside the lines.
Exactly. So, okay, great answer. Totally relate with that. I'm sure so many people watching your channel right now can totally relate with that as well.
I'm
So,
scared about
okay.
this prompt, Sam. I'm
No,
scared about this prompt.
don't be afraid. Don't be afraid at all. So, okay, what I want you to do, how should I put this?
Oh,
Because I
gosh.
left this one halfway open depending on your answer. So I would like for you. Hmm. Okay, hold on. You know what? Let's come back to prompt 1. I
Okay.
have to
Okay.
I have to rethink that one because of your answer. I'm gonna rethink that one. We're gonna come back
Okay.
to that. Okay.
Okay. Whew.
Yeah, I'll let you breathe for a second.
I'm like,
Okay.
oh my.
Okay, question number 2. you seem to be very intuitive. Like I notice that when you're doing your art, you don't seem to really think much. You just kind of go with the flow. Have you always been an intuitive artist? And like, what kind of advice do you have for people like me who tend to sometimes overthink what I'm doing?
Yeah, I think it's and when I'm teaching, like I was teaching a live workshop recently, and I think that is probably one of the most asked questions is how do you stop, like turn off the brain? And I
Yeah.
think it is more of a gut. So it's like a gut check. Like if when you're in the middle of a process, so this is my advice. So if you're in the middle of if you're just sitting down with your journal and you see out of the corner of your eye a box of crayons and you have this urge in your gut to just take that orange crayon out and scribble with it, then do that, not thinking through the process of, oh my gosh, what is this going to be? Oh, it's going to be terrible. Because ultimately, you have to show your journal to absolutely no one
So
unless you want to. So if you have the desire to put washi tape over the entire page and you have no clue where that's going, but your gut tells you that that is the feeling, live in that moment for that moment only, not for a completed piece. I'm getting passionate about it because
y-
I I
so
I
good.
really want people to think about what speaks to them and where they find their joy. If it's neon pink, then grab that bottle of neon pink and just throw it on the page and don't think about the outcome, but think about the joy that that moment brings you at that time.
Yeah, I totally hear that. And it's funny because I find that sometimes I am intuitive, but I do overthink. And it's like you said, when you have the orange crayon, don't think about, oh my gosh, it's
Mm-mm.
orange, what's gonna happen? Just do it. And
Right.
that's my thought. I'm always like, should I use this color? Because it's not gonna go. Or should I throw
Yep.
and for some reason, I always think to myself, I can't mess up without realizing I can mess up. This isn't something I'm selling. This isn't something that's for a
Right.
commission. This is, like you said, I don't even have to show it, and it's on a piece of paper that
Nope.
I have plenty more of, you know?
And guess what? You just turn the page and you
Yeah,
either gesso over it and start over, or you
yeah,
flip the page and you learn something from what you did in the previous page and you move forward.
yeah, so true. It's like the first video I did with Dee Dee, I had a failed copy that I did
Mm-hmm.
that
Yep, I heard you talk about that.
yeah, and I showed it in the end, and on the backside was the first painting that I put down and I just immediately didn't like and I just flipped it over,
Yep,
continued,
that's right.
like, and
Keep
just got
going.
a whole new page. Yeah, so it's hard for me. Like I struggle with that a lot, but your advice is amazing. Like everyone should definitely just be free with their art.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, okay. So here's now what I'm going to give you for the second prompt, and then I'm going to go back to the first prompt.
Okay.
So, although the order really doesn't matter, but
Right.
so what I want you to do, and this is fairly easy, is because we're talking about intuitive art, I want you to use one of these three words as inspiration in your project today. So the three words are intuitive, of course, free, and imperfect. So you don't have to use
I like
all.
all of those.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. You can use all if you want, or you could use just one if you want. And you could use it any way, a reflection of that word, an inspiration, the word itself. It's totally up to you.
Perfect.
Okay. You ready to go back to prompt number one?
Sure.
So that was the whole talk about, the grunge, the mess, the wonderfulness of abstract. So this is going to be easy. I was going to make it hard on you, but I just want you to be you. This is kind of like a freebie. So I
Okay.
just want you to be as messy and as grungy and as abstract as you could possibly be.
Y'all heard her, guys. She told me to do it.
I made her do it.
All right.
Like, just go all out.
Okay,
Okay.
I can handle that.
Okay, so now moving on to number 3. What is your favorite, like, household item or tool or something you find around the house? What's your favorite item that you like to use in your art? Because I noticed that you do that. Like, you do a lot of mark making and
Mhm.
you've used things that aren't necessarily purchased. So what's your favorite, like, random item to make marks with?
It needs to be something to make marks with, or just something that I use a lot that could be
Or
found in the household.
yeah, it could be anything, whether it's making marks or whatever.
Probably masking tape. It's my spirit
Okay.
animal.
Yes.
So everybody should have some masking tape in their junk drawer. Hopefully everyone has a junk drawer and I didn't just call myself a hoarder right here on YouTube. But I would
You might have,
definitely
but that's
say
okay.
masking tape is everything.
Yes, that's a good answer. And you know what? I don't ever use masking tape. I don't know why.
Girl, you got to
What
get
is
the
wrong with
masking
me?
tape out.
I need to. And it's funny because I have seen you use masking tape a lot. I've seen Dee Dee use masking tape a lot.
Yeah,
And
we
it's like,
both do.
you're
Yeah.
right. It works so good. Okay, you know what? I'm pulling out my masking tape from my non-junk drawer because I don't have one. Shh. Shh. Everything's fine here. And I'm putting it on my art table right now because I'm going to use it.
Very good. Yay.
Yay. So, okay, so here's prompt number 3. I want you to use something in your house that you've never tried before to put
Okay.
in your art or make marks with. So that'll get you thinking a bit to figure out what can I use that I've never used before. And I'm sure you could
All
find some.
right. I've already got something in mind.
Oh, from the junk drawer?
No, from my closet.
Okay. Okay. So what are we on? We're on 4.
Yes.
Okay. So number 4, the question is, how old were you when you first remembered doing art and what did you make?
Whew. Okay, so let me think.
Yeah, that's a question that'll take most of us back because we've been doing it.
Yeah. So my mom has always been like very artsy. She's made porcelain dolls, crochet, knitted, made handmade lace. Like she even owned a craft store. So I would
Nice.
probably say when I was about 8,
Okay.
she taught me how to cross stitch. Well, probably cross stitch and crochet were right there somewhere together. And so I did some cross stitching, and then I do remember, and I still don't know how to crochet, but I did make a chain, a really long chain when I was probably about 8. And it was variegated yarn that was really bright color, and I just chain that one single stitch for as long as I could go. I guess probably used the whole spool of yarn and never even learned how to do anything but the one chain stitch. So, yes, I still can't crochet, but I do recall her showing me that, how to crochet. But she knits and crochets and all of that. So
That's
it was
so
never a finished project, but it was a long,
it
long
it's
crochet
starting.
chain. Yep,
It
there you
started.
go.
And it's so funny. First of all, it's so awesome that you have such a creative mom. I have a creative mom too, and it's just great when you could like learn from your mom, and sounds like she had a whole bunch of different skills, which is awesome, or
Yeah.
has a bunch of different. And so
Yeah.
it's funny that you even mention the chain because I actually a long time ago, I wasn't 8, I was probably like in middle school or junior high, and I wanted to knit myself a scarf. However, it it didn't end up as wide as a scarf should be, so it was really skinny. And I just kept
Right.
going, just like you. so,
Just
so it
keep
was like
going.
it was like an infinity and beyond scarf that never ended up being worn.
That's awesome. We
Because
have
it's
so
just
much in
so
common.
relaxing, right? To just sit there and just go and go and go. But yeah, that's pretty cool that you were crocheting a chain at 8.
Yeah.
So okay, I had a prompt, but I'm kind of liking your answer, and I think I might switch it up a bit.
Okay.
So what I want you to do is use the number 8 somehow as inspiration, because that's how old your memory
Yep.
was. And also incorporate chain. Now that could be
Okay.
thread, it could be metal, it could be inspiration of a chain, it could be the word chain. It doesn't matter, but incorporate chain in
Right.
there somewhere as well as the number 8.
Okay.
Okay. Number 5. We're already on number 5.
Oh boy.
Okay. So number 5, the question, it's not even really art related, but what's something you just love to do when you're not doing art outside of your job and art? What else do you just love to do?
Well, we do live at the beach, so I would probably say, spending time with my husband. We don't have children, so we have the freedom to be able, when we are off, to go do things. And we like to go and sit and just watch the waves come in and crash on the shore. And we do have beautiful beaches here. And right now is today it was 75 degrees. We didn't go to the beach today, but um it was the perfect weather because living so far in the South, it goes from like 70 to like 105, like really quick. So timing
My
is
God.
everything. But when we're not visiting our own beaches, we do cruise regularly. So I have a cruise plans. I'm leaving May the 5th and I'm going to the Caribbean, and that is cruise number 13 in the books.
Wow. First of all, I'm jealous. I've never been on a cruise and I've never been really anywhere. Where in the Caribbean are you going?
We are going to the Cayman Islands.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Belize and Cozumel, Mexico and it's a 7-day cruise. Yep.
Oh man,
And
that's
some of my art friends are
lovely.
going too, so we're gonna do art and a cruise. So it's like awesome.
Oh my God. Okay, so your 5th prompt is to take me on your cruise.
Come on, grab a bag. You can fit in the luggage. We leave out of New Orleans. Come on, honey.
I'm on my way. I'm on my way. Get this collab. I'm coming. Okay, that sounds amazing. I do remember when I lived in North Carolina that the weather was awesome. Mind you, what was weird is the one of the years I lived there, for some reason, they got their first ice storm ever. And I'm like, did
Oh
I
wow.
go from Canada to North Carolina? Like the trees started crashing down, the
Oh
school closed for
gosh.
like 2 weeks, and I'm looking around like, guys, this is nothing. Why are people at the store buying bread and canned goods? It's like,
Yes, ma'am. That's
but
how it
that's how it
is.
was. Yeah, for sure.
You don't want us crazy Southern people on the road with the ice or the snow. So,
No, definitely not. Definitely not. So, okay, so that's amazing. The prompt actually doesn't have to do with the question. I just wanted to learn a little more about you. I'm sure
okay.
everybody else did too. Everybody else did too. So, okay, for the 5th prompt, it's pretty random. I have 5 things in front of me. And so just pick a number 1 through 5, and that'll be your 5th prompt.
3.
3. Okay, number 3 is use a stapler.
Oh, yes, baby.
I
Winning at life right here. Yeah, boy.
I knew you would
Whoop,
like that
whoop.
one.
I do.
And
I got good ones.
I wish you chose number 2 because I feel like you would have been really mad at me. You know what number 2 is? I could tell you because I'm going to use different questions on the next people. Number
What?
2 was no journal allowed.
Oh, yeah.
That
I'm
is
glad
so
I chose number 3.
because you always work in your journals.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would have thrown me a curveball there for sure.
Yeah. Maybe next time I'll throw some random prompts at you one day. And be like, make a video.
Yes. I think this is fun. I'm so excited to get started, and you guys are already seeing me working over here. So
Yeah.
hopefully I made an awesome project.
Yes, we are seeing it. It looks beautiful. I love how you put the little mark over in the the right corner over there.
Oh boy. Let's hope I can live up to it.
I'm sure you can, Tiff. You are an amazing, amazing artist. You inspire me constantly. It's funny because for a long while, I was like this silent lurker on your channel and I
Oh,
didn't comment or anything. And even today, I don't comment as much as I should. But girl, I see it all and it inspires me. I love you to death. I love you to death.
oh,
And
thank you.
thank you so much for being a part of my collab. I really appreciate it. You're one of my faves, so I had to ask you. And it's so
Yay, I'm
to
smiling
find
ear to
you.
ear.
I could hear your smile.
Yes, it's a awesome. I mean, it's so fun. It's a different take on things. My brain is already working, trying to come up with a strategy on how I'm going to pull this out. So I'm super excited that you invited me to participate. So thank you very much.
No problem, Tiff. I'm so glad that you could join in. And I think that's, oops, I just put my hand up and hit my lamp. Calm down, Samantha. I think that's it. And we are done. So, anything else you want to say here in the end?
No, guys, make sure you go over and check out Sam's video because I've got some great questions for her.
Oh my God, I can't wait. Okay, so I guess we're done then. Bye,
All
everybody.
right, bye.
There you have it, guys. This was such an amazing time. Thank you so much to Sam for inviting me to take part in the March Collabness. Make sure that you go check out her channel so you can see the other people she interviewed and also watch the prompts that I gave her. So before I go, I hope you enjoyed this wild and crazy page. It took some dips and dives, and she really wanted me to push my limits. And to be quite honest, I had to kind of keep going because I'm not used to making long videos like this. So I hope you did enjoy a little bit longer video and a little bit of getting to know me. And I hope that I did the prompts well. I used all of them. The number 8 I actually used with the tick marks. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 7, 8, and then I added on the yarn from that prompt. And then I'm going to add an imperfect little masking tape. My spirit animal had to make its debut here. I used that. I did wild and free, which is just me. And then I also added that texture paste, which is handmade texture paste by my friend Michelle. She has a video on it. You can go check that out. I mixed it with the yellow to make a very interesting texture there. So I hope that you really enjoyed today's video. And make sure you give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and go check Kiss My Creative out. Until next time, guys, toodaloo!